Hello, hello. We are watching UFC Abu Dhabi. Um, we're on the main card. Uh, we're actually two fights away from the main event. So coming up next is Shara Magomedov versus Marc-Andre Barriault. Okay, so if you're here, please do say hi in the chat. I'm gonna double check something. Not sure if my sound is working. Let's see. Okay, so if you're joining us, please do say hi in the comments so I know that the live chat is actually functioning. We've run into this issue before. Um, Hi, welcome to the live stream. I'm watching UFC Fight Night. It's taking place in Abu Dhabi. That's why there's this time difference. And it is the main card right now. Next up is Shara Magomedov, the fellow with the one bad eye. He's taking on Marc-Andre Barriault of Canada. After that fight, there's the bantamweight fight between Peter Yan and Marcus McGee. That's a fight I'm definitely interested in. And then the main event, of course, is Robert Whittaker versus Renier de Ridder. I think that will prove to be also a very interesting fight. I'm definitely a Robert Whittaker fan, but I have a ton of respect for de Ridder's skill set in MMA. All right, guys. Again, please, if you're joining us, say hi in the comments so I know that the live chat is working. Sometimes it says it's working and it's not, so it's super helpful if you just say hi. Also, let me know if the video is coming through strong enough. Let me know if the sound is working. If not, that means I gotta make some adjustments. Okay, so, yes. Right now we're on commercial break. And up next in the cage will be Shara Magomedov, the fellow who calls himself the Pirate. He's taken on Marc-Andre Barriault of Canada. So welcome to the live stream. Please say hi in the live chat so I know it's working. If I don't hear any, or we don't get any action in the chat within the first few minutes, oh great, thank you so much. Who is here? Thank you so much. I'm glad you commented in the chat. Please feel free to let me know about the video quality and about sound quality. Hey, Matt. Hey. LOL. Bit's friend is back. Okay. Christopher J. Z. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. I'm watching UFC Yaz Island. We are about to see Shara Magomedov take on Marc-Andre Barriault. Magomedov is the guy who has the bad eye and calls himself the Pirate. Barriault is a fighter out of Canada who's had some great, I think, stoppage victory last. So thank you guys for all saying hi. Hi, Chloe. Hi, Quinn. Thank you guys for joining our live stream. Are you guys UFC fans? Okay, we are looking at Marc-Andre Barriault, who's in the cage right now. Are you guys UFC fans or are you boxing fans? That's one of my paintings right up there. That's Joe Louis. Hope you guys are Joe Louis fans. He's one of my favorite fighters ever. Okay, now we are getting Shara Magomedov announced. Kind of a scary looking guy, especially with that one bad eye. I think the only place he can fight is overseas because I don't think he'd ever get a license here in the United States. Oh, Matt, glad you love UFC. Sorry guys, I might have to sneeze in a second, so I apologize. All right, here we go with this scary looking Shara Magomedov. He's the guy with sort of reddish hair and the shaggy beard, no mustache. All right, here we go. Barriault If you're watching, Barrios in the red trunks, Magomedov's in the white trunks. Both men are fighting out of orthodox. Magomedov opens up with a calf kick. Barrios staying on top of Shara, as Shara is the one that's moving around laterally. Another calf kick by Shara. He switched stance momentarily. Now he's back to orthodox. Barrios just staying right on top of him. Throws a rear front kick, which doesn't connect. Shara still using a lot of that side-to-side movement. Throws a right, doesn't connect. Throws another calf kick. Barrios' body kick does not connect. Shara with another hard calf kick. Barrios almost connects there with a jab. Shara with the inside kick. So looks like his strategy is to try to take Barrios' legs away from him early on in the fight. Barrios moves in and has Shara against the cage. Looks like he has one under, one over. That is Barrios. Shara's posting up. Oh, Barrios gets the takedown, gets a double. But Shara is popped up and back on his feet. Barrios still keeping the pressure. He's got double unders with Shara against the cage. Shara's posting up with one leg. Let it go. Shara with an elbow attempt as he works his way off the cage. The two men are back in center cage, again in orthodox stance. Shara again moving side to side here. And as Barrios closes distance, Shara makes a flying knee attempt, which doesn't connect. Barrios now has a double unders, has got Shara against the cage again. Barrios with a knee attempt, doesn't connect. Barrios is using his head pressure to try to control Shara's head. Barrios got double unders. Shara reverses the position and has Barrios towards the cage. Both men are exchanging short little punches while they're clenched up. Barrios with a nice knee connects. Shara throws a nice knee. And a calf kick. They break away from the cage and now they're back center cage. Shara with a nice 1-2. The 2 doesn't quite connect. But he does get another inside kick. Shara with a side kick. Barrios right on top of Shara. Shara's moving sideways along the edge of the cage. Barrios connects with a nice short right. Shara with a calf kick. Shara body kick attempt. Shara with a jab. Barrios closes distance, gets one under. Has Shara pressed up against the cage and he's using his head again to apply pressure. Shara has a tight whizzer. Oh, he lets that go throw a few elbows and a kick. They get off the cage and they're back to center cage. Now a bit of a reversal. We have Barrios on the outside, as it were, but he pushes his way back to the center of the cage. And Barrios walking Shara back. Shara circles around, switching stances momentarily. And then Shara again on his lateral sidestep movement. We got less than 20 seconds left here. Shara with another calf kick attempt. And a body kick attempt by Shara. Another calf kick. And that's the first round. Good first round for both fighters. Matt says Shara's grappling defense looks solid. Yeah, he defended really well against the cage there. Thought it was good. All right, Matt's here. Who else is here? Is it Chloe? Guys, we're watching UFC live. If you have access to a stream or the app, you're welcome to just watch along and comment as we go. I'll provide you with a live commentary from my point of view as the fights progress. So right now we're between rounds 1 and 2 for the fight between Shara Magomedov and Marc-Andre Barriault. Magomedov is from Russia. He's the fellow with the one bad eye who could probably never fight anywhere other than Abu Dhabi, because I don't think he's going to get licensed anywhere else with only one good eye. Marc-Andre Barriault is from Canada. So that was a good first round. If we're going to go by kicks landed, I think we give it to Shara. Okay, again, we start out the second round. Shara's moving around the edge of the cage sideways, first to his right, then to his left. A leaping body kick, followed by a calf kick by Shara. Hey, Agur. Barriault attempts a few inside kicks here. Referee interrupts for something, I'm not sure what. Shara is still navigating around the edge of the cage, with Barriault following him. Guys, let me know how the sound quality is on your end and how the video quality is on your end. I know I've had some issues in the past with the video getting pixelated, and I can't tell how well or not well the sound is coming through for you. So let me know if there's any issues. We're always trying to up our game here in terms of quality. All right. Oh, Sharapov lands a nice little short right as Barriault comes in. Barriault with his own calf kick right there. Men are in closer. Looks like Shara's playing the counter game to Barriault's striking. Shara's a little bit unorthodox in that he's keeping his hands wide apart and low. Barriault shoots in for a double, doesn't get it, and Shara lands a hard elbow, which opens up a cut on Barriault. I'm not sure if that's his skull or the left upper side of his temple, but there is blood now on, I think it might be the skull of Barriault, so that could be an issue if he's got blood streaming down into his left eye. All right, Shara's still moving around. Oh, and Barriault comes with an right elbow of his own, stuns Shara, knocks him back to the cage, in close. Two right uppercuts from Barriault. Do further damage to Shara. Barriault's got Shara pressed right up against the cage. I think he knows this may be the moment for him. Barriault with some hard body shots and a knee as Shara finally breaks away from the cage. Now they're back to the center. Great turn of events there for Barriault. Oh, and a lovely 1-2. The right hand lands really hard for Barriault. Thus far, this is all Barriault's round. But we have 2 minutes remaining. Okay, Barriault's got Shara up against the cage. Barriault is using his bloody head to press Shara. There's blood coming from Shara's nose at this point. Barriault's just doing a lot of dirty boxing here. Nice short uppercuts right tight on the inside, short little elbows. Again, Barriault's using his head as kind of a third hand to apply pressure to Shara. This isn't looking good for Shara at the moment. We got less than a minute and a half to go. Matt says he might have broken Shara's nose. I agree. Shara definitely looks stunned. That was not good. But now Shara has double overs while Barrio is trying for the takedown. He does get it, but doesn't have the best control here. Let's see how he does this. Shara makes his way back up to his feet. Good recovery by Shara. Great job posting with one hand to be able to get back up. Shara with an elbow, couple elbows of his own, as Barrio has him pressed up against the cage. Barrio throwing some nice body shots there as the men are literally toe-to-toe at the cage, edge of the cage. Now Shara reverses position, throws a series of knees to Barrio. Both men are in that tie clinch position. Now it's Shara coming on with Barrio with his back against the cage. Nice 1-2 by Shara lands, and a side kick. Now Barrio's the one that's looking stunned. Barrio covers up. Head kick. Barrio walks away. Shara opens his hands as if to say, "What's up?" And that's the round. Terrific round. I think we give that one to Barrio, although that was a close one to call. Matt G says, "Wow, I have 1-1 going into the third." Yeah, for sure. I would give the first round to Shara. Second round was very close, great action, but I think I would give it to Barrio. This is turning out to be a better fight than I thought. So tell me, you guys, what are you up to this weekend? Are you guys going to bother watching the boxing fights tonight? There's a smaller card at Madison Square Garden, the theater. Xander Zayas is the main event, and Bruce Carrington is the co-main. Xander Zayas is being touted as this up-and-coming prospect. Everybody has high hopes for him. Bruce Carrington is like a local New York kind of hometown hero. You know, he came up through the amateur ranks in New York City and has been doing well in the pro ranks. So if you ever get a chance to see a card in New York City and it's at the theater at Madison Square Garden, it won't be a major fight because they're going to put those on in Madison Square Garden, but it's a great place to watch a boxing fight, the theater at Madison Square Garden. All right, here we go. Third and final round between Shara Magomedov and Marc-Andre Barrio. As Matt G and I both have said, we think this is even going into this third round. So both men should have a sense of urgency as we close this fight out here. Okay, so we have Shara still moving laterally around the cage. Barrio shoots right in, presses Shara up against the cage. Barrio goes for the takedown. He has double unders. Can't tell if he has the lock. I don't think he does. No, he doesn't. But very persistent on Barrio's part because he keeps level changing from the high double under to a lower double under. Barrio appears to be using his head to apply pressure to Shara. But Shara's, with his wizard grip, is defending this well. Shara's throwing knees to the body, to the liver. Barrio pushes him away and they get back to center cage. Shara with the attempted question mark kick. I suppose that's what that was. Hi, Anthony. Welcome to the stream, Anthony. We're watching UFC. It's taking place right now in Abu Dhabi. That's why there's this weird time difference. All right, Shara doing a little showboating with feinting a bolo punch. If I were him, I would encourage him to take this a little more seriously. This is not the time to be showboating. We gotta convince the judges that you won this round. Oh, beautiful, nice snap jab by Shara. Lands on Barrio. Barrio comes right back though with a couple of jab right hand attempts. Shara with an up jab. Shara has a very unconventional sort of boxing style, if you want to call it that. Oh, Barrio lands a nice snapping jab. Shara with a calf kick attempt. We're at the halfway mark at this third and final round, and it's hard to definitively give this round to either fighter at this point. So I would say both men need to pick it up. Barrio makes a grappling attempt here, has Shara against the cage for a moment, but Shara works his way off. Yeah, Matt is saying that Shara throws more elbows and knees than punches, and that's true, just as he throws a spinning back elbow, or spinning elbow rather. Again, Barrio presses Shara up against the cage. He's got that one underhook. Less than 2 minutes to go in this round. I don't know that this is the best strategy for Barrio, because Shara can just eat up a lot of time on the cage. And if Barrio's not able to take him down and get a submission or get some solid ground and pound in, this could be, you know, eating up the clock and energy. Okay, well, Barrio with the body lock, double unders, but Shara reverses the position and now has Barrio against the cage. Shara with 2 double right elbows. Barrio moves away and they're back towards the center of the cage. Now it's Barrio moving around the perimeter. Shara showboating a bit with his fake bolo punches. Shara with a flying knee and head kick attempt. I mean, Shara could take this third round simply on volume because we're not getting enough from Barrio. Barrio's moving laterally. He has less than a minute to go here, so his coaches should be screaming at him at the moment. Barrio's trying to walk Shara down, but not sure if Shara just figures with 30 seconds left. Oh, Shara shoots in for his own takedown, doesn't get it, but transitions up to a tie clinch and is now throwing some knees to Mark's body. Gets Barrio down on the ground. Barrio's in bottom position, has a half butterfly guard, but Shara's throwing some ground and pound from top. Barrio turns away, he's on all fours, turns away again. And that's it. I think we got to give this fight to Shara, 2 rounds to 1. Yeah, Matt says I love that he loved the takedown attempt. It did come out of nowhere. Not expecting that. Like the one and only takedown attempt is in the third and final round in the last 45 seconds. All right, so fun fight. I think it'll go it'll either go 2-1 to Shara or maybe 3-0 for Shara. Because you could argue that even though Barrio had him in trouble in the second round, Shara came back strong. All right, who do you guys have in this fight? Hey, Carlos, what's up? How are you? How's work going? Anthony says, Sugar Ray Robinson, it's actually Joe Louis. That's my painting of Joe Louis. Sugar Ray might be up next. I have yet to really find a photo of Sugar Ray, like a portrait photo of Sugar Ray that inspires me, but I'll keep hunting. Oh, by the way, all my artwork is actually for sale on a website. You can find it via the LinkedIn in my not my bio, but the top of the YouTube channel, or in a lot of the shorts. There's a link that'll take you to a website where you can purchase any of these paintings. All right, right now UFC is doing a promo for, I guess, the next card, which is Albizi versus Taira. I don't know, Taira. Don't know if I said that right. Matt says definitely Shara won. Okay, so let's listen in. Oh yeah, they gave them all 3 rounds, 30-27. Yeah, so that was a fun fight. Now, I would not encourage any young and up-and-coming fighter to try to fight like Shara. I think it's just too problematic. He has too many bad habits with his boxing game. However, you know, it's hard to argue with success, as we say. So it works for him. If I were asked to advise, I would just try to perhaps eliminate one bad habit, you know, each training camp. Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us will get to see Sharo fight live unless we go over to Fight Island, because I don't think he's getting a license. He's not going to get a license in the United States. He's not going to get a license probably in most European countries. He's only got one good eye. I think it's pretty amazing that they're even able to get him licensed over there, but, you know, I mean, Dana definitely has some pull over in United Arab Emirates, and certainly, you know, since he was able to get them to build Fight Island just for the UFC, they've got a business partnership. And it's hard to argue. You can't really tell this man only has one good eye. And, you know, it's interesting because you'd almost think that if you're vision impaired, you'd want to be more of a grappler than a striker. Because, I mean, striking depends really on vision and being able to see what's coming at you and being able to see where your target's at and having that depth perception. So, interesting to me that, that Shara is more of like a jiu-jitsu style fighter. Because I've actually done judo with somebody who was legally blind, and it had like zero impact. As soon as people get their grip, it doesn't matter how well you see or not, because judo is all feel. And similarly for jiu-jitsu, it's mostly feel. Oh, Matt says the blue eye look is cool and reminds me of Kane the wrestler. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not familiar with him. All right, so Shara's just thanking everybody. This whole team looks pretty scary, if you ask me. Don't think you want to run into any one of those guys in a back alley after dark. All right, so we're cutting to Gilbert Burns and Gregory Rodriguez in the crowd. They traveled all the way just to watch this. Okay, I don't know that I would do that as a spectator, but, you know, I think it's a, 16-hour plane ride or something? Okay, so next up we have Peter Yan and Marcus McGee. I'm very curious to see how Peter Yan performs. Of course, we're going to go to commercial break here for a bit, so why don't you guys let me know what fights you're looking forward to in either the UFC or in boxing. Is Ankit here? Ankit Verma, are you here? Oh, don't forget, guys, you're always welcome to leave a super thanks or super chat rather, or gift some jewels. Apparently that's something you can do now on a vertical live stream. I personally don't know much about that, but maybe some of you guys who are a little more social media and tech savvy know how to go about gifting jewels and whatnot, gems or jewels or something like that. Yeah, every penny helps. So whether you want to leave a super chat here on this live stream, or you'd like to leave a super thanks on one of the videos that you enjoy, it's all greatly appreciated. If you prefer to head outward, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/Hamaguchi Fight and buy a coffee for $5 US. Matt says Peter Yan's boxing is excellent, and he's never seen Marcus fight before. Yes, I'm not familiar with Marcus. I remember the name, but I have no recall of ever seeing him fight, so I don't have anything to say about that. All right, so right now they're promoting the Dricus Duplessis versus Khamzat Chimaev fight. What do you guys think of that matchup? I think it's that's an interesting matchup. I'm not sure who I would go with. I think I favor Duplessis. He's the champion. But yeah, and we haven't seen Khamzat for a minute, right? I feel like as sort of unconventional as Dricus Duplessis' striking is and whatnot, I still feel like I would favor him. He did convert me in his last couple of fights, because I kind of question the unconventionalness of his skill set, but he's able to deploy it effectively. So Matt says, I think they're both gonna shoot a takedown and headbutt each other. Double KO. Okay, awesome. That would be funny as heck if that did happen. Okay, now we're cutting to the commentary team of Michael Bisping, Paul Felder, and John, who is it? Gooden? So 2 fighters and 1 non-fighter. The non-fighter dude is wearing a bow tie. One of these things is not like the others. Alright, so we are waiting for the fight between Peter Yan and Marcus McGee. Peter Yan, of course, fighting out of Russia. Marcus McGee is American. I have really enjoyed watching Peter fight in the past. His fight with Aljamain notwithstanding, I suppose. Who do you guys have in the main event? Do you think Robert still has something left in the tank? I mean, I am rooting for him, but I sort of question whether, I don't know if he's taken too much damage over time or he's worn out. Do I think Peter won the Sean O'Malley fight? That's a great question, Matt. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I'd probably have to go back and revisit that, rewatch it to give you an accurate opinion. What do you think? As far as Sean O'Malley goes, I feel like he's been somewhat exposed now, but for the longest, I mean, up until his last few fights, he's never really truly addressed some of the weak areas that he has, simply because he gets away with that. He gets away with having the build he has and being that sort of sharpshooter striker. But when that doesn't work, this is MMA. You need a complete skill set, and I think that's why Sean O'Malley has fallen short. Carl says, "All right, I'll see you later." Am I doing boxing later? I haven't decided, Carlos, just because these lives are kind of tiring, so we'll see if I still have some energy later tonight. All right, but thank you for stopping by. It was good to see you. Okay, here we go. We're doing a little backstory on Peter Yan. They're showing some highlights of him in the cage. Of course, they're showing him winning the belt. Matt says, I remember watching it live and felt Sean had the more damaging strikes, but Peter had some great shots and takedowns. Yeah, I can believe that for sure. All right, now we're showing highlights of Marcus McGee. Showing him getting a rear naked choke submission. Oh, and a nice short right. Looks like he has some decent hands. Good. He's got a decent straight right hand. All right, so now we're doing the walkout. We have Marcus McGee coming out first. Guys, if you're boxing fans, please do check out my pre-fight breakdown of Manny versus Mario. Did you guys watch that fight live? Even though it ended somewhat controversially, I think it was I felt must-see boxing, if only for the curiosity factor. And I think Manny proved all the doubters wrong. I mean, everyone just jumped on his age and the fact that there was a 4-year layoff, but he put on a great performance. My post-fight breakdown of that fight will be available to everybody tomorrow afternoon, so when you get a chance, check that out as well. Are you guys Manny Pacquiao fans? All right, we got Marcus McGee getting a little sip of water before he steps in the cage, hugging up his corner. McGee getting greased up by the cut man. Not a fan of UFC cut men. Referees checking him out, patting him down to make sure he has no illegal weapons hidden somewhere. Murwa, hi, how are you? Marcus may steal this one. Interesting, okay. Tell us more. Sorry, I didn't catch your first name. Tadashi? Matt. Oh, Matt says he watched the Manny versus Mayweather fight. Okay. All right, here we go. Peter Yan's making his way to the cage. He has the Russian flag draped around his shoulders. Interesting to me that the UFC has insisted that every single fighter has to wear exactly the same outfit, and so do their corner. This sort of kind of ugly black with weird stripy Venom outfit. Definitely not a fan of that. Don't know why they decided to do that. I don't know why you can't let the fighters choose a different color other than black. I don't think black looks great on camera, so I'm sort of baffled by that, but something tells me that that's not Venom's choice, that's the UFC's choice. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes says, I wish you could have seen Manny fight more at 140 pounds. He looked almost superhuman at 140. Yeah, he did. I mean, I referenced that fight versus Ricky Hatton more than a few times in my breakdowns. Yeah, I mean, he just, that one punch knockout of Ricky Hatton was mind blowing. I mean, it was spectacular. And as you said, like, Ricky Hatton's no joke himself. He's a rough and tumble fighter, always came to fight. Didn't mind, as we say, as the Brits say, getting chippy, right? So, yeah, Hatton was something else. So for Manny to knock him out with one punch like that was just spectacular. Okay, but do check out whatever it takes when you get a chance. Tomorrow, check out my post-fight or check out my pre-fight breakdown of Manny versus Barrios. Just let me know, and definitely comment. Let me know what you think about my points on both fighters. All right, so the fight announcer just announced Marcus McGee, and now we're cutting to Peter Yan. The announcer is announcing Peter Yan. So we're watching the UFC that's taking place right now in Fight Island in the United Arab Emirates. This is the fight before the main event. The main event is Robert Whittaker versus Renier de Ridder. This is the co-main, Peter Yan versus Marcus McGee. Peter Yan fighting out of Russia, and Marcus McGee is an American fighter. Looks like McGee and Yan are both going to start out of orthodox. Right away, Marcus McGee switches to southpaw. Looks like he's a bit of a switcher because I see what he's doing. He likes to move laterally, so that lends itself to stance switching fairly smoothly. Yan is just maintaining a very classic boxing guard with his right hand very close to his face and his left hand extended. Matt says rank 12 versus rank 3, interesting fight. Yeah, this is an interesting matchup. And so Marcus comes in with the inside kick and Peter counters. Marcus with another kick that Peter parries. Peter feints like maybe a kick. McGee looks like I would describe him as one of those jittery fighters that makes a lot of jittery motions. I think that's his attempt to just catch his opponent off guard and shoot in a hard strike. But Peter's doing the right thing, just saying nice and calm and still and focused. Peter with a hard 2. Inside kick, the men following a little bit closer. And Peter throws a short left hook as they break apart. Inside kick, Marcus is momentarily on the ground, pops back up. Yeah, Marcus McGee has a little bit of an awkward body language, I would say. Oh, Peter lands a hard left hook on Marcus. And Peter with a 1-2. Yeah, his classic boxing style is serving him really well here. He's so disciplined with this. Now Peter switches to southpaw stance. McGee's also in southpaw stance. Peter back to right, then switches back to lefty, back to righty. But all the while, he's maintaining a very disciplined classic boxing guard with the rear hand close to the chin and the lead hand forward. Okay, McGee's just constantly switching stances here, even when he's not throwing anything. Peter with a jab and then right hand to the body. Marcus with the jab, right hand. Marcus with the, well, overhand left. And I like how Jan's just staying right on top of McGee, not getting phased by McGee's constant jittery motions. So it looks to me like Jan's just looking for openings to line up a hard shot. And then fall into toe-to-toe for a moment there. Back to center cage. We have a little over a minute to go. McGee lands a couple of left hands from southpaw position. McGee with the inside kick. Oh, and Peter with a nice counter right uppercut left hook. Oh, a nice head movement by Peter to avoid that right hook of McGee's. McGee with the inside kick. Nice head movement by Peter, manages to catch McGee coming in. Got less than 30 seconds to go here in this opening round. Oh, and a right hand by McGee catches Peter. Another right uppercut catches Peter. Men fall into a clinch. Peter fires hard on the way out. This is going to be a tough round to score. Matt says if McGee wins this, that'll be huge, yeah, for him, make him a contender. If he wins, at least people will know who the heck he is. McGee with a few shots and knees in him, for sure. Matt says Jan is catching him with some nasty hooks on the way in. Yes, again, I would never tell anybody to copy Marcus McGee if they're trying to learn how to box or kickbox. I would certainly say, use Peter Yan as an example, but McGee's able to use his awkwardness and jiggeriness a bit to his advantage. So who did you guys give that first round to? Did you give it to Peter or did you give it to Marcus? Gotta take a few supplements, guys, so. All right, here we go. Round 2 of Peter Yan versus Marcus McGee. Again, both men start out right stance. McGee switches immediately to lefty. Nice head movement by Peter, avoids Marcus's two-punch combination. McGee's on the fighter that's moving around the outside. McGee shot in for a double, has Peter up against the cage. I don't know that he has the body lock. I don't think he does. Peter defends well. Both men try to throw elbows as they separate and come back to center. McGee tries a hard left out of southpaw stance. Peter with a jab right hand, a righty stance. McGee with a good little uppercut. Nice exchange by, nice combination there by McGee. Calf kick by McGee. Oh, McGee catches Peter hard with a short right. And then fall into a clinch for a moment. Peter with a nice 1-2 catches McGee. A little bit of grappling for a moment there. Again, McGee tries to shoot in for a double, doesn't have any success with that. Goes for the tie clinch, attempts a knee. Peter fires right back. Nice body shot by Peter Yan. Marcus returns the favor. A nice 1-2 by Marcus. Looks like there's a cut opened up over Marcus's right eye. Peter with the right elbow. Good little uppercut body shot by Marcus. In close. Now another left elbow by Peter lands. 2 minutes left. Another nice body shot by Marcus. Flying knee from Peter. The men are standing toe-to-toe at this point. Good little uppercut right hand by Peter. But Marcus must have great conditioning because he's starting to pick up the pace with his striking volume. So while I think Yan has a more effective hard shots, McGee could take this simply on volume alone. About a minute left to go here in the second round. Close round. Peter still pursuing McGee as McGee moves around the edge of the cage. A nice jab by Peter connects. Both men fighting out of southpaw at this point. Another knee to a right elbow by Peter Yan. I like how he does mix up his strikes like that. About half a minute to go here. Peter catches McGee with a hard jab. I can see why Marcus McGee gives a lot of fighters trouble because he's so hard to read. He's very unconventional in how he moves and puts striking combinations together. Okay, and that's the second round. All right, so Matt, who do you give that one to? Yeah, exactly. McGee might have. I think McGee won that round based on volume. So Peter's got to step into the third round with some urgency here. Guys, if you haven't yet done so, it would be awesome if you hit the subscribe and the bell so you know when our content is available to you and when we go live. I do try to do a live for the fight I'm interested in, and of course the bigger fights. So there's always fights on pretty much every weekend. There's not always a major UFC fight that I'm interested in. Like, for example, these fight nights don't always captivate me, but this particular one, mainly because it's Robert Whittaker, I did want to tune in for this. Matt says you're right about McGee's cardio. This would be a crazy 5-round fight, especially how Peter fights. Yeah, for sure. Okay, here we go. Third and final round. Let's see if Peter can bring it, because he's got to win this round big. A nice 1-2 from McGee. Nice short 2 by McGee. McGee with the inside kick. Peter's following him as McGee moves around the edge of the cage. Oh, Peter with a nice hard little left elbow. Nice jab right hand by Peter. Now he switches to southpaw. Oh, nice 3-punch combination by Peter. Marcus shoots in for a double, doesn't get it. Peter rocks him as McGee circles out from that takedown attempt. So I'm wondering what Jan's coach has said to him on the stool between the rounds. Oh, nice 1-2 by Peter. Does catch Marcus. Marcus goes for the tie clinch. Peter shoots in for a double. Has Marcus pressed up against the cage. He does have the body lock. Now Marcus is facing the cage. Peter's throwing knees to the back of Marcus's hamstrings. See how long the ref lets them stay here. Peter simply throwing lots of knees at Marcus McGee while Marcus is bent over with his head towards the cage. Peter tries to pull him back a bit. Marcus is making a bit of an attempt to fight Peter's hands. We're at the halfway mark of this third and final round, so let's see what both men decide to do here. The way Marcus has positioned himself, it's hard for Peter to advance the takedown attempt. So that's why he's just kneeing him in the hamstrings. And attempts to hit him in the knee in the head too, but it's a little bit too much of a distance to try to close there. Okay, 2 minutes remaining. Oh, and Peter does get the takedown for a moment, but McGee pops back up, right back to the same position. McGee's facing the cage, bent over. So this isn't going to win McGee the fight by choosing this tactic. And rightfully so. He's just eating up the clock for no reason here. He's got a minute and a half. Matt says I wouldn't even count that as a takedown because he flew right back up. Yeah, I mean, the problem is you can't really give McGee any credit for this minutes that he's eating up just being bent over facing the cage, right? Defending, but so he's kind of giving this away. I don't know what he's figuring now because he's got a minute left. You know, is he going to suddenly burst off the cage in the last 10 seconds and score a KO? Okay, and then here we go. McGee backstrokes around, grabs Peter's head, tries, he's got a head and arm now for a moment. Now he's got one under, one over. Peter's posting against McGee with a bent leg. McGee looks like he's trying for a takedown attempt of his own. But that didn't work. Both men are off the cage, back to center cage. Oh, Peter with a nice right head kick. McGee fires right back. Oh, and Peter drops McGee, gets him in position to go for figure 4 lock here. McGee rolls out of it. There's the 10-second warning. I think that might have secured Peter the fight. McGee back to the position with his head right against the cage, bent over. Looks like this is how we're going to finish it out because there's the final bell. Well, you know what? That last 15 seconds might have gotten Peter the win. It was the most significant thing that happened the third round. Matt says, okay, I think Peter won that. Very close, but hey, Elgato, how are you? We are watching UFC in Fight Island, and that was just the finish of Peter Yan versus Marcus McGee. Up next is the main event for this UFC Fight Night. It's Robert Whittaker versus Renier de Ridder. So I say Yan won that 2-1, but let's see what the judges say. Right now we're watching a Burger King commercial. Did you know there's a barbecue brisket Whopper available? Don't encourage anybody to eat junk food. Yeah, Matt, that's a great question. The first round was a little tough to score. I feel like Peter landed the more effective hard punches in the first round, but again, I can see how Marcus McGee is a tricky guy to fight because he just throws all that volume. So it's tough to match that volume, number one. So that means you've got to land harder shots. Elgato, it's taking place in United Arab Emirates, so that's why it's going on now. Okay. 29-28. Oh, yeah, they give it to Peter 2-1. So I guess they gave him the first and the third. I'll assume that's what happened, right? Wow, so Peter pulled it off in the last 30 seconds, I would say. Oh, so Peter's calling for his sons to come into the cage. Peter's saying hi to everybody. His two young sons are coming into the cage now to join him. That's very cute. They're giving their dad a hug. All right, so Bisping is asking who he wants. Oh, he says he wants Corey for a title fight.
Congratulations on a sensational performance. Я хочу сказать огромное спасибо своему главному тренеру Карату, своим друзьям, спарринг-партнерам, своей команде Архангела Михаила во главе с Игорем Алексеевичем Матушкиным. Огромное спасибо за поддержку. Горилла Файтинг, Горилла Энерджи. Абу-Даби! Technique thanks to my head coach Karat, to my friends, to my sparring partners, to my team, Archangel Baker. Abu-Dhabi, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Fiona, no mercy, Yan!
Okay, so that was a nice win for Peter Yan. I'm happy for him. In spite of that illegal knee, I'm still a Peter Yan fan. Okay, so nice little moment there for him in the cage with his two sons. Oh, and we are cutting to a shot of Islam Makhachev in the audience. Now they're telling you can save $10 on UFC 319 Duplessis versus Shemaev. I'm not sure how. Oh, I guess just maybe a pre-sale on the pay-per-view. Oh yeah, it says offer ends August 11. I have no idea. All right. Do you guys usually pay for that? Okay, Matt says Marab is the champ and beat Peter 50-45, so it'd be tough for him to get the belt. Hey Ibrahim, how are you doing? We're watching the UFC Fight Night in the United Arab Emirates on Fight Island. We're waiting for the main event. It is going to be Robert Whittaker versus René Derider. Right now we're cutting to shots of both fighters in their change room, shadow boxing at the camera. Looks like they got a little heater in the change room of Derider, so I don't know if that means it's cold right now in UAE, or just maybe because maybe the temperature drops suddenly when it's nighttime. Right now they're showing us a promo for Canelo versus Crawford. I'm not sure about that one. I don't know about Crawford jumping up from 54 to 168, but anyways. Matt says Peter should rematch O'Malley. Well, that would be a big fight. That would be a fun fight. I would definitely tune in to watch that. Thank you for joining us, Ibrahim. Where are you from? Are you a boxing fan or a UFC fan? Because we're watching UFC Fight Night right now. All right, here we go. They're announcing Whittaker versus Derider. Thank you so much for all the love, you guys. Really appreciate it. Remember, you're always welcome to leave a super chat. Every penny counts. Every penny helps. Or you can leave a super thanks on any of the videos. Also, check out some of my shorts, because there are links to purchase artwork that you see, and also to purchase merchandise. So you can support our channel that way as well, and even get something for yourself if you like. Alright, so we are cutting to footage of Derider training and some of his fight highlights. Showed him inflicting a rear naked choke on his opponent. Of course, Derider kind of won me over when he defeated Bo Nickel. I'm kind of not a Bo Nickel fan. I guess I'm a Bo Nickel anti-fan a little bit, but it's neither here nor there. Partly because I feel like Bo is a little bit deluded about his striking because of his choice of striking coach. Okay, now we're cutting to footage of Whittaker. He's hitting that round cushion is a really hard mitt. It's not really a mitt. That round cushion thing is really hard to hit. It just drains your energy. Matt says if Derider wins this, it shakes out the middleweight a bit. This will be interesting. Who are you going for in this matchup, you guys? Do you want Derider or do you want Robert, or are you kind of neutral? I mean, I'm kind of neutral. I'm definitely a Whittaker fan. I'm also now a Derider fan, so I don't have any dogs in. I don't have a preference for this fight, but yeah, I just want to see a good fight. So. some more fight highlights of both fighters, Whittaker and Duradur, and now we're getting ready for the walkout. Are you guys gonna tune in for Canelo Crawford? If so, who do you have in that fight? Do you think Canelo was just too big for Crawford, or do you think Crawford, in spite of a size difference, do you think Crawford is too skilled for Canelo? Matt says, I don't want to see Whittaker lose, but I want to see Duradur against the other top middleweights. Okay, good point. Yeah, it would be sad if Whittaker loses this, because then I think, you know, is his retirement just imminent if he takes a hard loss here. All right, well, they let Duradur wear a blue and white kit. What do I think about that? I mean, it's, you know, I have to go with the bigger man in this case, just because, you know, Crawford jumped up to 154. Now he's jumping up 2 more weight divisions to 168. You know, unless Crawford just decides to move around the entire fight and try to win on points, but that's not really the type of fighter he is. So, you know, El Gato says Yana's a great fighter, but I don't think he's gonna ever beat Merab. Merab's wrestling is just too much. Yeah, I mean, I think right now Merab has just really secured himself as champ. But I think Peter can make another go. Maybe, yeah, maybe at Sugar Sean. That would might be fun. All right, here we have Duradur hugging up his corner. Getting greased up by the cut man. Getting checked out by the ref, or the official rather. And Matt says, I remember watching Crawford fight versus Israel, and Crawford didn't look bad, but power wasn't crazy. Yeah, I mean, you know, as they say, there's weight divisions for a reason, but if your frame is a certain size, there's only, you know, so much leverage you can generate. So, I mean, granted, Canelo has a small frame for his height, but you know, his body is acclimated to 168. Crawford's is not yet. So, you know, and 14 pounds of, you know, quality muscle is a lot to put on. You don't want to just gain water weight or something and move up to weight divisions. You want it to be quality muscle. You know, I have to give John Jones credit for putting on his size the way he did, because he did it over an extended period of time, and he did it properly. You gotta do it kind of slow. You know, you can't really put on 14 pounds in 1 year unless that's your sole objective, right? Like a bodybuilder could maybe do that, even though that's a big ask. It's really better if I would phrase that in terms of a percentage of their body weight instead of a raw number of pounds. But so in Crawford's case, he's putting on what, more than 10% of his body mass in, you know, however long it's been. But again, so for a combat athlete to do that, you know, you're kind of working against yourself a little bit, because if you were a bodybuilder, you could focus simply on, you know, your nutrition and a lot of hypertrophy type workouts in the gym, which means doing a lot of reps, right? A lot of sets, a lot of volume to put on that size. That's you know, a fighter has to put in their boxing workouts. They can't just go to the weight training gym and focus on putting on size. So, as a responsible pro fighter is doing their road work and doing all their bag work and their sparring in the gym, they're kind of eating away at their body more than being a bodybuilder. So it's working in opposite directions. Okay, here we have Whittaker hugging up his corner and getting greased up by his cut man. Whittaker gets checked out by the official, and he makes his way into the cage. Alright guys, now we cut to commercial, so the last few moments before the fight starts, tell me what you think. How much are you going to pay, are you willing to pay to watch Canelo versus Crawford? And don't forget, 0 is a number. That's typically the amount I pay for all this stuff, because I figure I gave at the office, so I'm not paying again just to watch. By the way, what other boxing or MMA breakdowns would you guys like me to do in the future? No, excuse me. Okay, so here we go. Robert Whittaker and Renier are both 34. Renier has 4-inch height advantage and 4.5-inch reach advantage. True Hero. I found your channel one day with the Cyril video. Can you pronounce the name of this channel? Hamaguchi Fight. Hamaguchi is my last name. Okay. Alright, True Hero, I hope you subscribed and hit the bell already. You too, Matt. Hope you guys both subbed and hit the bell. Alright. We have the fight announcements getting underway. The ref is Mark Goddard. Alright guys, I apologize. I'm going to jump up and take a break for a quick moment. I will be right back. Okay, so there we go. Opening bell. Robert Whittaker versus Renier Derrider. We got an open stance fight here because Whittaker's fighting southpaw. Or sorry, Whittaker's fighting orthodox. Derrider is southpaw. Derrider shoots in for a single. Doesn't quite get it, but he's not letting go of that single leg grip. We're off to a fast and furious pace here. Now Derrider has a 2-on-1 on Robert's right arm. Derrider throwing a couple of knees to the body. Robert's using his head to kind of post up against Derrider. Interesting grip that Derrider's chosen. I'm not sure why he wants it or what he's planning to do with it. If he was doing judo, that would be a great setup to try to get a throw, but it's also very risky. Derrider is trying to throw knees and whatnot, and Whittaker finally breaks away. Very focused Robert Whittaker, lands a 1-2. Derrider is the one moving around on the outside at the moment. Nice 1-2 for Robert again. Robert leans back away twice to avoid Derrider's jab attempts. Derrider shoots in for a double, doesn't get it, they pop back up. Nice jab by Robert. I think Robert's boxing skills are absolutely legit. Given that he does that work, like I said, on that round cushion. That round cushion is something that a serious boxing coach would use. I've yet to see an MMA coach use it. It's not an easy piece of equipment to hold. It's actually quite dangerous for the person who's holding it. So you have to know what you're doing. Robert's just super focused on Derrider, choosing his openings. Beautiful slip by Robert to counter, 2-punch counter. And a straight right for Robert. So it's interesting that Robert is not letting Derrider use his height and reach advantage here. Derrider shoots in, doesn't get it, pops back up. Robert eats 2 of Derrider's jabs. Again, Derrider falls into a grappling position. He gets Robert against the cage. He's throwing knees to Robert. Robert has double unders, however. Robert works his way out, circles around, breaks free. Back to center cage. Nice up jab by Robert Whittaker. Derrider with a head kick attempt. It's blocked by Robert. A minute left here in this opening round of Robert Whittaker versus Renier Derrider. A nice 1-2 by Robert Whittaker. Robert with some great stutter steps there, feinting his way in. Renier with a couple double jabs from southpaw position and a big rear knee by Derrider. Derrider misses with a big overhand left, and Robert counters. Less than 30 seconds to go here in this opening round. Robert right on top of, standing right in front of Derrider, walking him down. Nice 1-2 by Robert. He's opened up something on Derrider's nose. No. There's appears to be some blood coming from Dervider's nose. Hammerhead, the bassist. I'm glad to see you too. Haven't seen me in a while. Yep. Well, please make sure you hit the sub and bell so you know when we go live. We were live last week for Pacquiao Barrios and for the UFC simultaneous, the Poirier Holloway card. So both those lives are up on my channel. Look for the bright yellow thumbnail, just like the one for this live. Okay, let's see. Okay, I couldn't understand what Whittaker's corner was saying there, but Hammerhead said I subbed a few months back. I wonder what's wrong. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs of the YouTube algorithm and whatnot, but yeah, thank you for subbing. I don't know what to tell you. I need to do more research on my end about how to optimize everything, but regardless, I'm glad you joined us today. So also check out my shorts, because typically during the week, prior to the weekend, I'll try to say which fights I'm going to go live for. So I basically said this week I definitely wanted to do the UFC card and not so much interested in the fights tonight. So we'll see. All right. Oh, Hammerhead says you might have just missed it. Okay, no worries. I'm glad you're here, Hammerhead. All right, here we go. So Dervider just also tried another takedown attempt, which didn't work, so they popped right back up. Robert's using a lot of that sort of jittery karate style movement, I think, to set up his punches. Just under 4 minutes to go here in the second round. Dervider still trying to move on the outside. Dervider goes for a jab, and Robert counters right away with the 1-2. Robert with a nice hard jab. Dervider lands a good jab. Robert with a stutter step to a jab. Interesting choice by Dervider. He throws a jab and he drops his head way low and throws this loopy overhand left, but he doesn't really need to because he has the height advantage. So I don't know why he does that. Odd choice. Okay, nice. Couple of nice hard shots just landed there from Robert. Whittaker, again, Dervider attempts to shoot in, but Robert completely avoids it. 3 minutes to go here in the second round. Matt says, Rob for sure took that first round. Yes, agreed. Hammerhead says, what should be the main event of the White House card? Oh, great question. I think I should be the main event. What do you think? All right, here we go. Jabs from Dervider. Nice head movement by Robert Whittaker. Beautiful slip, and then he comes back with his own overhand right. So yeah, props to Robert for all the great boxing skills. Okay, Renier just landed a nice jab. Goes for a jab to a knee. Robert clenches up for a moment there. About 2.5 minutes to go here. Robert swings with a left hook and misses. A couple double jabs land for Dervider. Now Dervider gets Robert on the ground. Got half guard. He's in top position. We got about 2 minutes to go here, so this isn't good for Robert. Not sure if this is what Renier was waiting for. Maybe. Okay, Robert in sort of a half butterfly guard. Dervider is just maintaining that top position. Renier just trying to sneak in a few punches here and there. Robert's maintaining that half butterfly guard. Bit of a scramble here. Derrider shifts. Looks like he's still in top position. Robert's doing a good job from bottom. Now he's got full close guard. Robert's hugging, trying to keep Derrider's head close to his chest to prevent him from doing what he's doing right now, which is trying to posture up to throw down punches. Now Derrider looks like he's going to break away. Oh, no, he comes back in, trying to go for the ground and pound. Robert locks up again, full guard. There goes the 10-second bell. Derrider up on his feet, trying to apply pressure here to Whittaker. Well, that's a tough one because Derrider dominated in the last part of that round, although he wasn't able to get a stoppage or a submission. Looks like a small cut has opened up on the bridge of Robert Whittaker's nose. All right, who did you guys give that round to? It's a close call. Hammerhead, in all seriousness, I think it's super interesting that John Jones basically said, hey, he's willing to put himself back in the testing pool and unretire himself if he can fight at the White House card next year, about a year from now. But, you know, as Dana points out, a lot can happen in a year. It's kind of a little too early to be talking about specifics yet for that event. All right, here we go, guys. Round 3. Robert's still nice and light on his feet. I don't think that cut will really affect the fight, simply because it's not going to impede his vision at all. And now we have Derrider being the one pursuing Robert. He's right on top of him. Goodness. A couple of nice knees have landed for Derrider, and a 1-2, and Robert drops Derrider. Robert in top position, and Derrider's full guard. He's coming right in for ground and pound. Robert with the elbow. Derrider trying to defend from bottom, from the ground. Robert passes behind his feet. The men get back. Both men get back up to their feet. Oh, this is getting interesting here. Both men fall back into a clinch. Derrider walks Robert back to the cage. Peppers him a bit. Looks like there's a cut over off to the side of Robert's left eyebrow. Robert throws an elbow and breaks away. Back to center cage for both. Derrider with a knee. Derrider shoots in for a takedown, doesn't get it. Both men are back up. Jab right hand doesn't land for Robert. He eats one of Derrider's jabs. Hey, Elgato. The knockdown is going to be a huge factor, favoring factor for Robert if it goes to a decision. Yeah, for sure. Elgato says, I hope he Knuckles gets the finish. Alright, so Derrider shoots in for a takedown, gets kind of a sloppy takedown here, but he has Robert. Robert's got a wizard grip from bottom position. Derrider's in his half guard. Got head and arm. Let's see if Derrider can pass Bobby's guard here. He's got 2 minutes to make something happen. Right. So it looks like Derrider's trying to get his leg out from Bobby's half guard. Or maybe he's just going to be satisfied to lay in top position. Oh, looks like he got... No, he's still in half guard. Yeah, no, he passed. He passed guard now. He's in side control. Robert shrimped his way out. Over a minute to go here, and you know, Derrider can just kind of stay here in top position. Again, did he manage? Yes, again passes Robert's guard. Robert bridges up. Nice defense from the bottom by Robert, but you can't really give anybody the round if they're in bottom position. Nice use of the half butterfly guard by Robert. Demont Andrews. I love your Dana. Sign me. YouTube short. Thank you so much. I figured, you know, it can't hurt, right? It's like, I don't want to keep writing boxing slip bag or whatever the heck. It's the same, you know, piece of equipment. So I figured I'd come up with something else to say. I appreciate you, Demont. El Gato. He's probably rocked so hard he's trying to recover by staying on the ground. You know, the thing is when you're laying on the ground here, it's not, you know, unless you're going to go for the sub, unless you're in top position and you're going for a sub, or you just want to eat up the clock, you know, that's one thing. If you're in bottom position, you got to try to get out of there. All right, that's the round. So I think we got to give that round to Derrider. All right, I hope Robert's conditioning is up to snuff because he's going to need something. Okay, I can't really tell what his corner's telling him, unfortunately. But Robert is breathing kind of hard, so... Alright, and we can see the cut man working on Derrider. We can see the cut man working a bit on Bobby Knuckles. Alright guys, if you're here on our live, please do at least say hi so we know who's here. I know we've got El Gato, we have Demont. Okay, here we go. Fourth round. Robert Whittaker versus Renier Derrider. Hey Stretch Armstrong, thank you for saying hi. Alright, Derrider right away gets goes in for double unders, has Bobby pressed against the cage. Doesn't get a takedown, but walks him over to another section of the cage. Derrider still sneaking in some knees here and there, using his head to apply pressure. Robert does have an underhook. Renier's peppering him. Robert circles out and gets away. They're back to the center cage. The hard one too. Again, against the cage. So this looks like a bit on Derrider's part. You know, he can eat up time and just nullify Bobby's striking capabilities by just pressing him up against the cage like this. Alright, he's got a couple knees in. Again, Robert circles away. And once again, Derrider shoots in for the double moves back up, presses Bobby against the cage. So this is exhausting for Whittaker to just defend his position as Renier put his weight on him. Nice little shoulder thrown there by Duradur. Okay, we're at the 3-minute mark. Another shoulder by Duradur. Takedown attempt, but Rubber winds up getting Duradur's back for an instant, but they both choose to stand back up in center cage. Right. Renier with a nice jab landing. Robert misses with a wide left hook. Robert has a nice slip of Renier's jab, but now Robert's fighting with his hands down towards his waist. I don't really like to see that so much. He looks a little bit tired as well. This is not a good look for Robert Whittaker. 2 minutes left in this 4th round. This is scheduled for another round, so... Okay, and again, Renier walks Robert back to the cage, has him pinned against the cage, using his head. Robert circles out, they break apart. Back to center cage. Alright, Renier's head kick goes right over Robert's head. Hi, how are you doing, Mike? Matt Michaels. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us on our live stream. We're watching the main event of UFC Fight Night in United Arab Emirates. Are you a UFC fan? There's another Matt here, Matt G. This is Matt Michaels. Glad you guys could both join us. Glad everybody could join us. If you haven't said hi yet, please say hi just so we know who's here. Oh, nice jab lands for Bobby Knuckles. Another jab by Bobby Knuckles. Okay, but it's going to take more than that for him to secure this round. He's going to have to put punches together. Right now he's throwing single jabs. Not a good look for him. Right. Renier again with a jab to double takedown attempt, which he abandons. Robert walks forward. Okay, about half a minute left here. Yes, thank you so much for subscribing, Matt. Really appreciate it. You prefer boxing? Well, I like both, although I will tell you, lately I'm kind of favoring UFC MMA fights over boxing just because it feels like boxing is so fixed. It's frustrating, but as far as an art goes, I mean, I'm equally with both. You interview combat sport athletes on your channel? Oh, very cool. Good to know. Please, when you get a chance, check out some of my fights. The playlist that says full fights or boxing fights. There's all like purple, anything with a purple thumbnail is a fight. There's also some news footage of a judo program I used to run in Harlem called Judo in Harlem, and those have gold thumbnails. Anything sort of news or historical has a gold thumbnail. So when you get a moment, please check some of those out. You might find them interesting. There's also a bit of history with me and getting a woman into the New York City Golden Gloves in 1995. Okay, thank you so much, Mike. Matt, sorry. Appreciate you doing that. Very cool. Good to meet you. Okay, so we're between rounds here. Whittaker does look tired. He's breathing pretty heavy. I hope he can scrape it together here. Duradur is also breathing a bit hard, but he doesn't look quite as exhausted as Whittaker. Alright, here we go, guys. Round 5. Robert opens hard with a couple double jabs. I feel like Duradur just has to maintain, and he might walk away with a split decision victory here. Again, Derrider with that weird jab overhand left. And again, Derrider tries a takedown attempt, but that doesn't work. Okay, thank you so much, Matt. Definitely, gym is always a priority. I made sure to hit the gym before I got here, so I'll probably post some shorts of that workout. It was just a boxing slip bag, but very good to meet you, Matt Michaels. We'll see you again, and enjoy the content. All right, see you around. All right, again, Derrider has Whittaker pressed up against the cage. Whittaker works his way off. Derrider presses him back again. All right, so this game plan wise, this is a smart move for Derrider because again, he can just eat up the clock here, kind of just wear Whittaker down by forcing Whittaker to carry his weight a bit. All right, Rob breaks away. But again, Derrider shoots in, has him pressed up against the cage. Robert circles out, breaks away, back to center cage. We've got 3 minutes left here. Right. Derrider shoots in for a single, doesn't get it, tries a throw, doesn't get it, but has Robert pressed up against the cage once again. Robert looks like he has at least one under hook. And Derrider is just, using his head, forcing Bobby Knuckles to carry his weight, and he's just touching him to the body. He's not really trying to land a knockout punch. Okay, we are at the halfway mark of the 5th and final round here, and I think Bobby needs to make something big happen if he wants to walk away with the win here. A nice jab by Robert. Derrider just staying right on top of Whittaker. Nice slip by Robert. Again, Derrider has Bobby Knuckles pressed up against the cage. Bobby has the body lock. He's got double unders, but he's not in a winning position here. Okay, again, Robert circles out, breaks away. He's got just under 2 minutes to make something happen here for himself. I don't know, Matt G. Looks like our hopes might be vanishing. Right now, Derrider is just keeping his distance. Robert kind of rushes in with a right hand to the body attempt that doesn't quite work. Oh, Robert eats a jab by Derrider. Derrider again with that weird overhand left attempt. I honestly don't understand why someone who's that tall would pick that technique, but I guess it's worked for him, so he stuck with it. And again, Robert is pressed up against the cage with double under, body lock, and Derrider's just tapping him to the body. He's going to eat up the clock, I think. Less than a minute to go. Okay, Robert circles out and away. Lands a nice little right hook there as Derrider retreated from shooting in. It's like Derrider's just feinting these takedown attempts, it looks like. Oh, nice right hand for Whittaker, and Derrider waves him in. I don't know what that's about. It's kind of crazy. All right, we have about 15 seconds left, and again, Derrider walks Robert back to the cage. Unfortunately for Robert Whittaker, it looks like Renier may have walked away with the win in this case. What do you guys see? Right, Whittaker has his hands raised, but it's hard to give him that. You can't give him that last round. Robert walks away putting both hands up as if, almost like he has to. I don't know. Elgato, yeah. I think Rob is going to lose this one, unfortunately. I mean, he landed some good shots there, but I feel like he got gassed. You know, good game planning by Duradur. You know, walk this guy back to the cage and just lean on him. I mean, for sure, Robert landed the better strikes, but I don't know. It's a tough one. It's funny, in the playback highlights, they're showing all of Robert's strikes that ended. But to his credit, you know, Duradur has a decent jab. I feel like he just doesn't follow up with his jab very well. That loopy overhand left is not really effective at all. All right, let's listen in.
Let's get it inside for the final time tonight. Switch Joe, the main event decision. Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. And here are the totals. Judge Mike Bells goes at 48-47 for Whittaker.
One judge gave it to Whittaker.
48-47 to Ritter.
One judge gave it
And Judge
to
David
Renier.
Leatherby scores at 48-47 for your winner by split decision.
Oh, yeah. Wow, okay. Renier Duradur by split decision. So, two judges gave him 3 rounds. One judge gave Robert 3 rounds. So, yeah, I mean, especially when you close the fight out stronger, it's, I don't know. They're supposed to score each round independently, meaning they don't wait till the whole fight's over and then score it. They score each round as it goes by, so it's not like you can go back and change what you said. But yeah, I'm bummed out for Robert, but yeah, split decision, exactly. That's about as close as you can get, right? 3-2 split decision. Oh well. So what do you guys think's next for Robert Whittaker? Do you think that's it?
Let's go. Let me give me a chance to fight for that strap.
Oh, Duradur's calling for a title shot.
No, I expected to take him down, choke him out, but he was amazing.
Yeah, Duradur had a good game plan, you know. He ate up a lot of time just pressing Robert against the cage, and that tired Robert out, I think. So that is a bit of a question mark for me, is what happened with Robert's conditioning. All right, here, Bisping's trying to talk to him.
Back up to the first split decision. How you feeling about that one? Pretty much.
Hang on.
You know what?
One sec, guys. I gotta check something. There's the banging, I think, on my door. Sorry, I gotta step away. Alright, so I think that was Amazon. You know, it would be nicer if they would just knock on the door or hit the bell like a normal human being rather than just bang on the door like a little aggressively. So, anyways, that's neither here nor there. It has nothing to do with combat sports. But that's it. That's our fight card from UFC United Arab Emirates Fight Island. Alright, any final thoughts? Who would you like to see Whittaker face next? Who do you think Duradur? Do you think he deserves a title shot just yet? I really appreciate you guys joining me for this live watch-along party for the UFC. And please do hit the sub if you haven't already. Hit the bell. I hope you get the notifications for when we're doing our lives and when our next content is available. As I said, please do check out my Manny versus Mario pre-fight and post-fight breakdowns. They're both half an hour long, so maybe when you're doing your cardio at the gym or something, you could tune into that. The post-fight will be available to everybody tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. If you're somebody who'd like early access to all of the content, or almost all of the content on the channel, you might consider joining the channel. It's just under $3 a month. So for less than the price of a coffee, you get early access. You do get some members-only queries that I put out there to get feedback from members only. And you get priority in terms of a reply from me in the comments. All right, guys, so thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your support. Again, if you care to leave a super thanks or a super chat, or head over to buymeacoffee.com/Hamaguchi-fight. Every penny helps. And I will see you in the next live. Thank you for joining us. Have an awesome rest of your Saturday and Sunday.